Imagine sitting in a crowded dining hall, the sound of laughter echoing, trays clattering, and people gathering in groups. Suddenly, all eyes shift to one girl sitting quietly at the corner table. She looks ordinary, fragile even, with her head bent low, trying to eat in peace. But in seconds, 3 boys walk over, smirks on their faces, ready to humiliate her in front of everyone. They mock her clothes, her silence, and even her food. Everyone expects her to shrink, to take the insults quietly. Yet, what happens next shocks the entire hall. In the blink of an eye, the 3 boys are lying on the floor, stunned, gasping, and utterly confused about what just happened. Who was this girl they thought was weak? And why did she carry a strength no one expected? Stay with me until the end, because this story will show you how one person's hidden strength can change everything. The dining hall was the loudest place on campus every afternoon. Students from every corner of the university came there to eat, joke, and gossip. But for Lily, it was a battlefield she had no choice but to cross. She always sat alone at the farthest table, her books stacked beside her as if they were her only companions. Her simple jeans and faded sweater didn't help her stand out. To most, she was invisible, until someone decided to make her the center of their cruelty. Lily wasn't new to this. She had faced whispers in classrooms, snickers in hallways, and sometimes even laughter behind her back. It wasn't that she wasn't smart. She was, in fact, one of the sharpest students in engineering. But she was quiet, reserved, and different. And for people like the 3 boys who thrived on attention, she was the perfect target. The boys: Ryan, the leader with a loud voice and louder ego; Mike, his loyal shadow; and Josh, the joker who laughed at anything cruel, had made mocking people their daily sport. That day, they saw Lily sitting alone with her tray of soup and bread, her shoulders curved in a protective hunch. "Hey, look at her," Ryan whispered loudly, making sure everyone nearby could hear. "Is that soup or dishwater she's eating?" Mike and Josh burst into laughter, drawing the attention of nearby students. Lily's face tightened, but she didn't look up. They walked over, their sneakers squeaking against the tiled floor. Ryan tapped on her table. "Hey, why don't you ever sit with anyone?" "Oh, wait, I know. Because no one would want to, right?" Josh leaned closer, snatching her bread roll. "This is pathetic. Does your family even know what real food is?" The laughter around them grew. Lily's hands clenched under the table. Her heart pounded, not from fear, but from something else she had been holding back for too long. For weeks she had ignored the snide comments. For months she had endured the stares. But today, something inside her snapped. Her eyes slowly lifted, locking onto Ryan's. They were calm, but dangerously calm. He smirked, leaning in to whisper something meaner. That's when it happened. In a single motion too fast for the crowd to follow, Lily pushed her chair back, stood and shifted her weight. Before Ryan could finish his sentence, he was on the floor, flat on his back, his tray of fries spilling over him. Gasps filled the hall. Mike lunged forward to grab her arm, but with a swift movement she sidestepped, caught his wrist, and twisted it just enough to make him lose balance. He stumbled and landed hard beside Ryan. Josh froze, his mouth open, laughter stuck in his throat. But his hesitation was his mistake. Lily took a step forward, her movements precise, like she had done this 1,000 times. With a subtle shift of her leg, she swept Josh's feet out from under him. In seconds, he too was lying flat on the cold floor. The entire dining hall was silent, forks and spoons suspended mid-air. Students stared at the scene, their eyes darting between the 3 boys groaning in confusion and Lily, who stood still, her expression unreadable. She didn't gloat. She didn't say a word. She simply picked up her tray, straightened her sweater, and walked away, leaving behind an entire hall full of stunned faces and 3 boys too embarrassed to stand up quickly. But what no one in that dining hall knew was that Lily wasn't just some quiet girl. She had a past, one that carried both pain and power, a past that explained why she moved with the reflexes of a fighter. After the incident, Lily became the topic of every conversation. Some admired her, others feared her, but everyone wanted to know the truth. How had she done that? The 3 boys, once loud and arrogant, now avoided the dining hall for days. They walked quietly through corridors, their pride bruised more than their bodies. For Lily, life didn't suddenly get easier. Instead, the attention weighed on her even more. She never wanted to fight. She never wanted to draw eyes to herself. But the truth was, fighting was something she had learned long before coming to this university. Years ago, Lily lived with her father, a decorated soldier who believed in discipline. resilience, and strength of character. He had raised her to defend herself, not because she wanted to, but because life had given her no choice. Her mother had left when she was young, and her father's health had started to decline, leaving Lily to shoulder responsibilities beyond her age. The only gift he gave her, besides his love, was teaching her how to be strong, even when the world was cruel. When he passed away, Lily carried his lessons with her. His words echoed in her mind every time she faced cruelty. Don't start a fight, but never let anyone take your dignity away. That day in the dining hall, she hadn't been fighting for herself alone. She had been fighting for every day she had stayed silent, for every student who had felt powerless. The university administration eventually called her in, not to scold her, but to understand what had happened. Several witnesses explained that she had not provoked the incident and that the boys had cornered her. Instead of being punished, she was quietly respected by the faculty. What surprised her most were the students who came up to her later. A girl who had often been mocked for her accent told Lily she felt braver after seeing her stand up. A shy boy who was usually bullied in the science lab said he finally believed that strength didn't always come from size. Even Ryan, Mike, and Josh, humiliated but humbled, approached her weeks later. Their words were awkward, their apologies clumsy, but they admitted something Lily never expected, that her strength had forced them to look at themselves. From that day, the dining hall was never the same. Lily didn't suddenly become the most popular girl, nor did she want to. But she became something better. She became a quiet force of inspiration. People no longer saw her as invisible. They saw her as someone who had the courage to stand when everyone else stayed seated. And as the story spread, it carried with it a message far beyond those walls. That sometimes the quietest people carry the loudest strength, and when they finally rise, the world is forced to listen. You never know the battles someone has already fought, or the strength they quietly carry within them. And when the moment comes, even the ones mocked the most can rise and change everything.